welcome back to Waxing On with R&J, episode 29. We are back. I'm Jake Jackson. This is Rich Jackson, and today we have a special guest for you. Good friend of the show, Keith Hafner of The Cinema Story, Down Swinging, and Pop Punk AF magazine, which we'll talk more about later. Keith, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, I'm great, man. Thanks for having me on. I'm excited.
Me too, and after getting to know you over the last couple of years through mutual friend Jared Cook, have some pretty common interests on music, and I found out that you collect actual records as well. So, and this is the main focus point of this show, is talking about physical media and also attending live shows and local scene and all that stuff. So excited to have you on, and I'll start us off some recent pickups that I've gotten, and one of them you will really like. First here, I went to a show last Friday. Sinkhole. I don't know if you've been at the Sinkhole yet. It's a pretty cool venue.
I hear that, but I've not been there.
Midge, myself, and Barrett Lewis, the ATI podcast, and Blake Worley all went to the Sinkhole to see Based, Buffalo, New York hardcore band. They were on tour, pretty long tour. It was like their first full U.S. tour, so it was pretty cool to see them.
Wasn't it 30 days?
Yeah, it was like 30 days long.
30-day tour.
And they played with St. Louis's very own Direct Measure hardcore band. Crusade of put on the show as well from Direct Measure. So, and then they played with Piasa from Illinois and Full Stride from Bloomington, Indiana, and they all rock. I wanted to get merch from all of them, but I just bought my Furnace Fest ticket, so it was really, I'm really pinching pennies until then. So Ridge got me this copy because, as you can see here, they only had 2 copies left of this.
I'm trying to turn to move the player, but it's
Sorry there. But anyway, obviously this one is like the display, because it says third pressing and $25. It didn't even have like a sleeve or anything. So it's pretty cool to have, pretty cool story. And this is like a compilation. It's like their demo and then the couple new joints they did, and then 3 new tracks on it, which were Prove You Wrong, Tear It Apart, and Point of View. I had to pick a favorite track. It would be Add Energy. So,
that's a good one. Tear It Apart rules too.
Tear It Apart does rule.
We got the last 2 copies. Well, I grabbed the last 2 copies they had there.
Yeah, on New Morality Zine as well as the label. Second one you are very familiar with, that you may be even talking about later here. This record and like a lot of other labels had a back to school or into summer sale, which I don't know how many back to school, like I don't know how many kids are even buying records these days, but parents, yeah. And I didn't have this on vinyl, so I thought I would get the deluxe version of New Found Glory's 2017 album, Makes Me Sick, which this is the deluxe version. This is Makes Me Sick Again, which...
Sick Again. I couldn't remember if it was Sicker or Sick Again, but yeah.
Which was released in 2018, and it has 3 new bonus tracks. And New Found Glory, I'm going to say it, is the king of like doing B-sides and making their bonus tracks actually good.
That's true, yeah.
You know how many bands do like B-sides or demos, odds and ends, and sometimes it's just shit. But they do a great job. Right. Here, I got it on. I don't know if you have the same colorway.
Like 3 of them. I don't even know what they look like, to be honest. It's kind of, so I got one when it came out, and I never really cared what they were. So that's the original. And then when I saw them acoustic in Franklin, my daughter won a raffle with that. It was a signed one. So I haven't even really touched that, really. And then I think I ordered another one from Chad that was signed. So I've got a few. It's honestly my least favorite record. Great one, but it's my least favorite of their catalog. And I probably have more copies of that one than the other ones.
It's funny. I know we've talked about that. It's your least favorite, but literally, if that's their least favorite you consider it the worst, then that's a lot of bands' best album. Because I've said it to you, but New Found Glory is the most consistent band of their era and genre. They're always putting out records. We're taking breaks. There's no besides Coming Home, it's pretty much what you're going to get with New Found Glory. Great songs every single time. Hit for me at the right time. I was going to college at Mac my first year, and I was delivering lots of pizza, and he can attest to this. Delivering a lot of pizza, you listen to a lot of music, and when this album came out, I just spun it all the time. And our parents got a pool that summer, and this is a perfect summer record as well.
That is a good summer record for sure.
And if I had to pick a favorite track off the standard version, it would be probably Barbed Wire, because the lyrics are great. I don't think we should talk anymore. I want the best for you, but you're happy being miserable. I don't want to know you or someone who's so focused. And then, honestly, could be the best song on the whole album is the the last track, the bonus track, 20 years from now, which could have been on Coming Home, I think.
Yeah, I love that one. Such a good one. Mine on that one, I do. It's probably Happy Being Miserable. I think that one's so good. And then Sound of Two Voices, I thought was super cool because it's just got like Little Mermaid type thing.
Like a reggae type feel.
Yeah, which is kind of funny now that they put out the Little Mermaid song, but that's what it reminded me of, and I was like, this is neat. But yeah, those are my top.
Happy Being Miserable as well. I love the backing vocals from Chad on there. Love at the end. I don't want to know you. That's Chad. Sure, I could be wrong because I know he usually does the backing vocals, but
he does. Yeah.
And then my last pick is an album you have heard of, you've listened to, especially you guys are similar in age, I believe. You were born in what, 87?
88.
88. You were born in
87.
87. So you're 90s kids, so you definitely have heard or seen this album, Hootie and the Blowfish's debut record, Cracked Rear View.
Cracked Rear View, yeah.
Yes, sir.
My dad played that a lot.
It's a very dad type album right here.
Yeah.
Our parents both played that all the time in the house when I was younger.
We had our own copy, their parents' copy, and I was like, well, I need to get my own copy after seeing them this summer. This is just one of the greatest records of the 90s, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a good one. I think it's funny, too, because I was a big Dan Marino fan as a kid, and he's in that video, and I just thought that was the coolest fucking thing ever.
And, of course, you have all the singles, Only Want to Be With You, Hold My Hand, Let Her Cry, Time. This album is one of the biggest selling debuts of all time. It sold over 22 million copies in the United States. Their second album sold 3 million, and their third sold million. So, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, we already know you're full of shit and bullshit. The Blowfish needs to be in. Even the deep tracks are great on here. And I'm going to highlight my favorite track, and that would be Not Even the Trees. That's a good deep track, because most people just listen to, the huge, massive hits on here, but the actual album is really good. Keith, I'm going to hand it off to you. What do you got for us today?
We're going to kick it off with a band called Postseason. And we played, these guys are from like Altoona, Pennsylvania or something. I think there was only 150 copies of this made because there's not that, they weren't that big. I don't think they're playing anymore. But we got offered a show back in like 2016, I think it was. And these guys played it. I didn't know who they were. We were just playing shows pretty much anytime anybody asked. We're like, yeah, we'll be there. So Fubar, and I remember they opened the show with this, the quack quack. So they're like everybody, just a whole room, just put their hands in it. It's probably like 25 people. I mean, it wasn't crazy, but man, I just fell in love with it. And then they ended up putting out they got a little bigger, not really big, but then they put this album out, and it's so good, just like straight pop punk, catchy lines. Little cliche at times, people say. I don't really agree. They got a different singer, like a second singer for this one. I can't remember their name. They're from like Pennsylvania or something too, but they're on there. Favorite track on this one, Numb to This. I just think it's really cool artwork too. It looks
cool
like
artwork.
A tattoo,
like a flash sheet.
Yeah, flash sheet. So it's a pretty sweet. That one's my favorite title. Another Day, Another Fruit Buck. I think it's hilarious, but man, this one's really good. I think must be big Pokemon fans because the jacket on the outside had
that is cool.
Nice.
But they did, and forgive me, I'm not a big Pokemon guy, but I think there was like 3 colors or something at some time. 2 colors. I got the yellow one. That was the one, so I think that's why that's why it's the yellow splatter. But that's that one. I think you should check it out if you don't know it. Jake, for sure, I think you would really like it. I'm not sure your taste there, but man, I loved it. And then their older stuff too. I think that's the last one they made.
I'm gonna definitely check that out. Send me that after.
I wrote it down too. I like a lot, all kinds of music. I primarily like a lot of heavier music, but I can get down with pop punk and all that stuff too.
Real catchy shit. Like just watching those guys, so good. One of the best frontmen, just like energy, charisma, like so good at it. I wish they would have took off. Super cool dudes, super nice. But they were on some small tour, and we just happened to. So the record company we were with at the time, West Clark Records. That's who they were putting it on, and they're like, "Hey, jump on the show because you guys are really fit." And they blew me away, but so good. And then Drive-Thru era. Drive-Thru Rushmore Records, really, like the split off. 2005, I think this came out. So I only got this a few years ago. It says 2013. I'm not sure. I might have had it for a while now. But one of my favorite albums is Day at the Fair. It's the Rocking Chair years. These guys, it's not typical Drive-Thru, right? More early November type. I guess if I had to put one of those bands, but like if they were more pop punk, I don't know. You'll have to hear it. It's real good stuff. It's called the Rockin' Chair Years. It's a little softer at times, but then that's where I kind of got that relation, and then it gets upbeat. real good stuff on here. I think this was their they ended up putting this out. I think that's what they mostly toured on at the time. They ended up breaking up or kind of hiatusing. A few years back, they put out another EP that was incredible. And then I think they just got back together to do that. They never did any tours or anything. That's around the time, by the way, Hidden in Plain View is doing a reunion, like 3-show tour. Yeah, I just got tickets for that today.
I saw that on Facebook. That's awesome.
Unfortunately, I don't have that vinyl, but I would love it. Life and Dreaming turns 20 years this year. And man, such a good one. Greatest bridge in the world on Garden Statement. And man, so good. Best one on this, I really like this. This is why we don't have nice things. It's like it's more of an acoustic driven. It's that ballad type, middle of the album type song they do, you know. And that's my favorite on there. But can't go wrong with any of them. So Day at the Fair.
I'm gonna have to check both of these out. Like I'm familiar with Drive Through Records, but that one must have missed me. Do you remember that one at all?
I don't remember that at all.
Oh yeah,
I remember like the heyday of Drive Through Records.
Yeah,
but...
yeah. So it was about like I think it was around 2005 or 6 or so. Okay. They ended up they had that sister or second company that like the smaller bands were on, like the Mile After. You remember the Mile After? Houston Calls.
Houston Calls. I remember Houston.
Okay.
Okay. So Houston Calls was on there. Socratic, I think, and some other like lower level was the Rushmore side, and that's who they were on before Drive Through fully folded at the time. So not the straight pop punk stuff, just a little more because the times were changing. You guys, well, you probably remember that for sure. It was going a little different.
Hello Goodbye was like the biggest drive-through band probably in 2005 or 6.
Yeah,
Hello Goodbye was huge then, way different than like Newfound Glory and stuff.
For sure.
Yeah,
catchy as shit.
I love Hello Goodbye,
yeah, but definitely different. Yeah. This one you will know, and kind of a switch up for me. I didn't want to throw all pop punk in there, but this is one of my favorite albums just in general.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I love Mac Miller.
Dude, some peace.
Yeah, for sure. This is such a good one. I've never been like a big hip hop guy or whatever, but Mac did it different. You know, he was like, he had that jazz element and stuff like that, which I thought was so cool. So this is one of my favorite albums just in general. Really, really like this one. My favorite, I don't even know. Probably Jet Fuel.
Great song.
That was really good. But that's my number 3.
Talk about the Mac Miller record a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, he made that record in 2018, and he died in September, I think, of this month in 2018. And he put out that video of him in the casket, and that's kind of hard to watch. I can't remember what song the video was for.
I don't remember any of the videos, to be honest. I don't know if I've ever. Probably the one, No News. I think is the only one I've really saw. Good News. Okay. The one after. Oh. Yeah, I don't watch a lot of videos. Like back in the day, I did. You know, when they'd come on, stuff like that. But I don't see a lot anymore. I didn't see that, but that is crazy. Didn't even know that. But
I'll have to think of the song. But another great song on there is 2009. That's probably my favorite song on the album. But that's like a total different vibe. Amazing lyrics on there too, like bone chilling, kind of gets the
he was a good lyricist for sure. They sent him story. I got the guys to cover Under the Weather, which was a lot of fun. So Blue Slide Park album. That was a lot of fun, and I thought it was really cool to be able to do a Mac song, especially with those guys because we're not. I like that. Andrew's a big fan, but Brennan obviously is not. But one of the greatest albums ever made here. What got me into really everything. This was released when I was 13 years old, and been my favorite band ever since. I think everybody that knew I was going to do this knew that one of these was going to be on here. But man, such a great one. I remember I didn't have this one when it came out, but I heard Hit or Miss on the radio. I remember it came on, and then I was just like, "What was that?" And then my dad turned it, but I heard that split second, and I was like, "What is this? This is great." I found it later, and man, so when Sticks and Stones came out, I was ready. I was ready for that because they were my favorite band at the time. They still are, still so great. But Sticks and Stones was coming out, and I had to make sure I got it. But I ended up getting this after that. I spun the shit out of it. Well, not metaphorically spun, I guess, because it was CD. But man, I listened to this so much. The Sticks and Stones as well, so kind of like rotated. But such a good album. I mean, you got so many.
Crazy.
Boy Crazy is one of my favorites. Ballad for the Lost Romantics, one of my favorites. Dress to Kill, obviously. I really like that. Dude, the whole thing is solid. I mean, it is a simpler time right here. And this one, my albums always rotate, like which one's my favorite, but this one's always in the mix for sure. I mean, I think, best song. It's hard to say, but I think Ballad for the Lost Romantics probably beats most. And that's That's it. That's my albums.
Have any hit or miss, or did you ever have that or the Sticks and Stones record?
I did not.
Okay.
I was a big fan of it, like seeing the videos on MTV and everything
Yeah.
back in the day.
Cool videos.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was something I hadn't seen that before. I don't know, it was new to me because I was just getting into like punk and stuff like that, and it was kind of bridging it in like them, like Good Charlotte and stuff like that. But
Oh yeah, Good Charlotte. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, like the things that you got, and then I would analyze like the stickers on the rooms and the guitars and stuff, and find out about like the Exploited and the Unseen, and it's like,
yeah, that's how you find bands. It's funny.
Yeah, it was like
did the same things.
It's like found like 2 street punk bands like off of a pop punk band.
Yeah.
This video was like killer. It was awesome.
Yeah,
you're a Cyrus guy, right? Or you like Cyrus you're like, there's a guy named Cyrus in the band, right? You said that to me one time.
I don't remember that.
Okay, yeah. He's like, there's a guy named Cyrus in the band. I was like, yeah.
That's true, yeah. No, I used to do that, and when I got the CDs, like, they would be like, thank you to whatever, and I'd be like, I gotta go check them out. Like, Newfound Glory thanks them. And other bands, like Census Fail, they're probably my second favorite band. I almost picked one of those, but I'm gonna go a little different. But they could have picked so many. I think The Fire crossed my mind there, and obviously Let It Unfold You. Life Is Not a Waiting Room is probably my favorite, though.
That's a good one.
Such a good one.
I think the last one a lot. Yeah,
that's really good. I think they still got it. The only one that really, wasn't much on was the Renaissance or whatever. Oh no, it was Pull the Thorns.
When was that?
That's the heavy one.
I'm trying to think of what year that was because I like the one in 2018 that has like the mask on the front of it or whatever, and like a field or something.
If There's Light to Find You, that's really good.
Yes. And the last one, which is like the lyrics on that, it's like just basically about fatherhood and stuff. It's like,
dude, it's
crazy.
Census Fail is Buddy's one of my favorite lyricists, probably my favorite lyricist. But everything he does hits me like it's like we live the same life. It's crazy, and it's at the same time. Sometimes we've written like the same things. Obviously, he does it better. But I'm like, what the fuck? That's crazy. He stole it. But no, it's neat. But if you guys like the harder stuff and you didn't know that, that pull the thorns from your heart is a heavy one.
I don't know if I've ever listened to that one.
Wasn't for me, but it was good for what it is.
Find something new. Yeah, I mean, I never fault a band for taking a swing.
Yeah, I agree to a certain extent, right? I think there's like sometimes like just change the name, start a new thing. But no, I didn't think that was too out of the element either, though.
Because they always had a heavy influence for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not, out of the realm. Silverstein did that too. Silverstein did a legitimate hardcore album and covered like Gorilla Biscuits and shit like that on the fast songs, short songs or whatever. The one that has like the zoom into the bass guitar or whatever. It was like 2012. It's like basically like it had like a lot of covers on it. I don't know. Are you Silverstein? I know you like Silverstein.
I do like Silverstein. There's like a gap in my Silverstein knowledge and listen to. It's probably from Shipwreck in the Sand, and then probably got back into it when the wind shifts. I think those was probably like 5 years apart or something like that. But there was a time where I just was like didn't really catch many Silverstein stuff. And that old stuff still hits.
First album,
dude, all
is the
all
best.
their stuff does. Yeah,
first album,
and they covered that Lifetime song, that Rodeo Clown. You were talking about the older stuff.
Love Lifetime here.
Lifetime's great. Yeah, big fan there.
You do like hardcore. You like Lifetime.
I guess. So I mean, well, obviously I dip into the Long Island hardcore, but
you too here, brother.
I don't. I just don't go any heavier. I guess that's my line on that spectrum. But yeah, Lifetime's great. Movie Life's great. And do I like other hardcore bands? I don't know. I don't know if I know. I know that name, but like I'm trying to think of like, have I heard them? I don't know.
Iron Cheek.
Love Iron Cheek.
Okay, Iron Cheek, and then Koyo. I've talked about them. You would like Koyo probably.
So they're going to be with Story So Far, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, well, yeah. I know you spoke highly of them. Somebody else did that I know.
Jerry.
Yeah, he said they were really good. But somebody else that hadn't seen them, but they were like, oh, that band's great. I might have to check them out. So the other thing is, I don't know a lot of those bands. I really only know Lifetime from Newfound Glory, and then like Movie Life. Obviously, they were a drive-through band, so I knew that. And then just for different things. But I've never been super into that scene. So there's probably stuff out there that I do know and don't know it, or that I would like that I just missed.
Lifetime, didn't they do a record on the Pete Wentz's label too? Like later on, Dance or whatever the fuck it was called.
You know what? I would ask you in that situation.
The big Lifetime record.
The big one. I would have thought New Jersey's Best Dancers or whatever.
No, the hold on, I'm looking this shit up real quick.
I'm surprised you have to.
When we were talking about drive-through, I remember I used to have back in the day, like 20 or like 2003 era of like Warped Tour and stuff. You would just be passed around like samplers and stuff like that. And I used to have like those old drive-through comps and everything. Just like guy like check this out, hand it to you,
Yep,
and for free. And it was like, and you have like what it'd be like 15 bands or like or more like on one CD, and you'd discover so much cool shit.
Yeah, Dim and Victory did that really well too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them in the DVDs and shit. So yeah, man, the days, right?
I'm jealous. I'm envious of that time.
I used to have to carry a backpack around to put like stickers, flyers, CDs, like comps, like that were just like being people would just be like, hey, you like this band? Check them out. Like, check this out. Like, take this home with you.
I was just thinking that the other day walking out of a concert from the pageant, and I was like, man, me and my wife both were like, remember the days where like we'd have like a pocket full of flyers by now and maybe a couple demos. Like those were the days, man. People grassroots and shit. You don't have to anymore, and like I think the things have changed. If like somebody handed you a CD, you'd be like, when am I going to play this?
Right.
You know, like most cars don't even have it, so which is wild to think about. Like you and I are the same age. We went through tapes, CDs, and then nothing.
Vinyl's cool again.
Yeah, now it's going to CD.
Because they're cheaper, yeah.
Well, no, now they're hiking them up to like $20 or more.
Yeah, some labels.
Yeah.
And then, like, dude, I don't know how many CDs you've bought recently, but these are the cases CDs need to come in. Yeah. Jewel cases. I'm tired of those like digipack cardboard pieces of shit.
Jewel cases were what everything pretty much came in before. I still have boxes of just CDs, and my wife's like, "Are you sure we're never gonna need these?" And I was like, "One day they're coming back, so I might be able to sell."
Yes, you will. Yes, you could.
Oh, yeah,
I promise.
I got some good there. Maybe some Nickelback would go pretty good.
If you got Nickelback, I will buy it.
I don't. Man, I wish I would have. I just threw out the most obscure band I could think of. I got some good ones,
obscure band in your collection, not the.
Yeah, excuse me.
All right, we're gonna go from Nickelback to really, really awesome grindcore band.
Nickelback is grindcore, right?
Oh no,
I'm always grinding when I'm listening to them.
Grindcore,
different type of grindcore.
Oh, okay.
Different type of grindcore. All right. My first pick from this band called Liberosis. They are from San Jose, Costa Rica. Very fantastic band. This is their third release from Liberosis. Called I'm gonna try my best, John. Here, Donisma Nihilista. I probably butchered that, but yeah. The third record. This was they're a fantastic grindcore band with a lot of putting in some power violence and a little mix of like some hardcore different aspects in their sound. 15 tracks on this. Raw, heavy ass guitars, bass that like cuts through the mix, which is one thing I love, because like with some grindcore you don't always hear the bass because it's like lost in all that noise. But this like really punches through. Rhythmically, like the drums are amazing, like dancing between just like kind of crusty punk beats to some D beat, and then just like blasts, like crazy good blasts. Love it. My favorite track off here. Just can't pronounce a lot of these. I took Spanish in college. I'm gonna go with track 11. Track 11. It's absolutely fantastic. Like you can buy these in the U.S. On Acid Redux Productions. Fantastic. I can't say enough. Like I found out about these guys from Eric's label Life After Death, their last release, and I had to have this when it came out. This released in about April of this year. They just got the tapes done. Had to hit up John, and I was like, where can I get this in the US? He sent me right up to Acid Redux Productions. Fantastic label. All I ordered from them was this tape, and I got like flyers, buttons, all kinds of stickers, download codes. Like prices are fantastic. There's a lot I want to check out from Acid Redux Productions. Discover a bunch of really nasty, gnarly grindcore, which I'm excited for. Liberosis. Not going to butcher the name of the album, but third newest release from them. Definitely check it out. The tape's really cool. I like it's simple. Got the black print there on the white tape. Cool. Love that.
Shout out to John as well. Very, very nice guy and
Very.
always supporter of what we do here. So,
guys, fellas, there, the info there. It's really cool. Really enjoyed it. It's fantastic. Give it a shot.
Might be on our end of the year. You might be talking about this more at the end of the year.
This is a legendary death metal band. I found this. It was on Intuit Records. It was on a distro in the U.S., so I had to pick it up because I like Pestilence a lot. So I had to have this, which was their first 2 demo tapes together. This really cool packaging that I've never seen before. So you got your slipcase there with their little plug doctor thingy and a bunch of bodies, and then the track listing for the Century demo in 1987 and the Pestilence demos also in 1987. Different, I believe, different vocals. Pretty much, Pestilence is a Dutch metal band. At least amazing albums. Consuming Impulse, my personal favorite, Testimony of the Ancients, which it went more aggressive, technical death metal. It's around when like Death Human that was coming out, so it was kind of going that way. Fantastic. I mean, even for like raw demos, I mean, they were remastered during this reissue, so they sound a lot better than usual. But I was surprised. You're not going to get that sound of Testimony of the Ancients and stuff on these 2, but it's really cool. They're on these printed tapes.
That's neat, actually.
Sick. Yeah. Cool. And even like the screen for like the reel is also printed too. Kind of hard to see, but yeah. But we got the 2 tapes in there in this really cool case, and it's fun. You got a bunch of like old show flyers. Like there's some like inserts from like zines and stuff that they were being talked about on. Of Death off of the Century demos, fantastic. Before the Penance on the Penance demos, great. This is a genre that's new to me. Well, they call themselves soul metal.
Yo.
Yeah. Oh, seriously. This is one of the most original, fun, triumphant sounding underground bands that I've found in a long time. And this band is called Yield and Woe. The album is called For the Good of the Realm. This album came out in September of last year. Only made 100 copies. Blast Beat vinyl, I believe. Didn't get it. Too late. Like, it sold out super quick. I've been waiting, looking on Discogs, trying to find a copy of this. And this year, they put up pre-orders, or a week and a half ago. I jumped on it. Like, as soon as they went live, I bought one. It was only limited to, I believe, 100 copies. Productions out of New York. This really awesome, all-female, vegan, anti-fascist, animal rights sort of label. But they do a lot of really cool different black metal and different projects like that. I'm gonna have to dig more into their discography, which is one awesome thing, because when I opened this package up today, there's like, it's hard to see, but there's like, they included all of these download codes.
Those are really small too.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you like, I don't know, well, like when we used to like print out our download codes, like when we made our own CDs and sold them back in the day, we would print off, like, you can just go and download these sheets of the download codes, and we'd cut them out and put them in there. So if like, a CD player, okay, well, you got the CD and you got the digital download. But yeah, they're all pretty small. Came with these really cool little stickers to my kids of a pumpkin, a skull, and a unicorn cat.
Just in time for Halloween.
Yeah, little motivational cat stickers. This is fantastic. They're true castle metal, bringing in aspects of black metal, not putting in like the corpse paint and the satanic stuff. And this is just like talking about swords, armor, getting ready for battle sort of stuff. Really,
that's why it's castle metal.
Yeah,
okay.
It's like really cool, super sweet artwork.
The Death of Glory was probably my favorite track on it.
Yeah, the Death of Glory is fantastic. My favorite for sure is probably Trees of Silver and Gold, which is also colorway of this record. I just got this in today. I've been listening to this ever since it came out.
That is cool.
Yeah, it's clear.
I like a clear record. I love a clear record.
Yeah. Like gold and green kind of donut in the middle of it. But I think my favorite part is these the stickers on the inside. Like, it's really beautiful work. It's really cool. Epic. It's original. It's got bits of black metal.
Has a power metal vibe to me too.
It does. Like, this one band, National Champion, that I absolutely love, and it's pretty much like power metal to me. They got little bits of that. Really, really good. Solid. Definitely, you're not going to find any copies of this unless you and somebody may be desperate selling on Discogs, but very, very good. Old and Woe, for the good of the realm. Check it out. Blows my socks off. Like, I've listened. I got this today and still listening to it when you came here. This is like my third or fourth time I've listened to it today.
Listen to it on the way here. I thought I was going to have to pull out the damn board like Drew McIntyre in WWE.
It's good, and they when they play and stuff on stage, they put on like chainmail and like little battle helmets.
Oh, so they're all in it.
Yeah, all in it. And F, the guy he's like the main guy on the project, writes the lyrics, writes most of the music, collaborates on some of the tracks, but fantastic. There's even actually an interpretation, their own interpretation of like a Celtic folk song. Definitely check it out. Wield and Woe, for the good of the realm. I love it. I'm so stoked to have this because there's only like 200 between the first and the second pressing, so finally
very limited.
Yeah. They had some tapes and some CDs, but I believe they're probably sold out too. Tapes are really cool. They're like this like cloudy clear with a bunch of like gold glitter in it. Really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, sounds fantastic. Got Wild and Woe. Something fun.
All right, and that's all of our picks.
Hyped up.
I'll send you a link to it. I'll send you a link to Wield and Woe.
Link me to all those because I might be the one. Kind of gets me there.
Before we know it, Keith's gonna be wearing an Infant Annihilator shirts and
oh no,
and Death and
I'll be playing metal,
listening to some Liberosis Liberosis.
I learned Spanish. I couldn't tell you anything except for my name is.
That's our picks. But before we let you go, I wanted to just give you a little bit to talk about, what you got coming up. And as of this recording, September 6, 2024, you have this is the 10th anniversary of Notes for Hope.
Yeah, this is we started this 10 and a half years ago now. This will be a 9th show. We took a year off, but as a whole, it'd be the 10th anniversary, which is really cool. So bands have been getting together, and playing this and raising money and supporting the cause for 10 years now. It's changed a lot. We started out just donating that money straight to Write Love on Our Arms. Was the first one. Hope for the Day got it. We did this Presbyterian home around here, and then we started our own nonprofit from this. And now we work with, we try to hit kind of the students like middle school, high school, and use music to really help with mental health. My wife had this. We had a few guitars donated for raffle, really, for whatever we wanted to use it for. And my wife had this great idea. It was like, hey, what if we donated those to kids who didn't really have the means, but like needed that sort of outlet. And I thought that was awesome. And we've done that. That's our project called Music Speaks, and that's been pretty cool. Seeing when we give those away, it's probably one of the coolest things we've done. And then journaling is a big thing that we really push, I guess. So we actually we were able to place an order for a bunch of those notebooks that kind of have some inspiration linked to the website. So, I mean, my thought with that too is go in there and showcasing local bands. Like if I hadn't had music growing up like that, things would be a lot different. And things are different just in general for kids and high school kids as the time is now. But I think if they find that band or whatever, they're like, oh, that's just a guy that works at Walmart or whatever. Like I see that guy and they know they can do it. You know what I mean? Put themselves out there. And I think that's another thing's going to kind of link together. Really excited for that. But the show itself is just awesome. We have, I don't know how many bands, I'll be honest, but it's going to go all day. Everybody's so good. We've
Stars
got,
go out, right? Love the Stars go out.
They've been playing with us for quite some time. I think we played our first show together as in 2015. I think it was. I think I sent Joe the flyer a while back. We played an acoustic show at Foo Bar with Cinema Story and the Stars.
Peace, Foo Bar.
Great venue.
Yeah. So there was a minute where it wasn't, but it was like
A lot of people
it was
got
like
their gear
good in the
stolen
bad.
there.
Well, that too.
Unless you're I Hate God and you come packing, they're not gonna steal your stuff.
They, yeah, but R.I.P. Food Bar. Looks like they're doing pretty well though. I think the Red Flag's doing well. But anyway, yeah, great band. Ben Diesel, which is also like
Yes.
half those. Those they're so good. Holy Ground will be playing, also great. Atlas on Fire, great. And then we have Alex Casno. He came with his band last year from Cincinnati. He's going to come play acoustic.
Okay, cool.
Commit This to Memory from Chicago area. They're coming down.
They like
Pretty
Motion City soundtrack.
So yeah, I believe
Okay.
that's where they got their name from.
My favorite Motion City soundtrack albums.
That'd probably be your favorite pop punk in that world band.
I think it would be.
Them
Like,
and a trio?
I listen to that album quite often. I like it. I mean, I have since like I was young. I stood right next to him and watched the Vandals, the lead singer, guitarist from Motion City
Did you
soundtrack.
see around his hair?
We were just like hanging out. Like I was like drinking like a Powerade and like looked over and just like seeing him just like did a nod and then went back and watched it.
Oh, man,
I was a kid. I didn't know what to do.
Right,
man.
Like, I see this dude on TV.
Sometimes I wish like I could go back like in the situations I was when I was younger and like first time I met Newfound Glory, I was like, you signed that? And like now I'd be like, I love you. Hey, have this, it's weird. It's lost on the kids.
You could be me and get hammered and just absolutely punish them to death. I'm not gonna lie. I have punished bands and artists when I'm really drunk. Be like, this record, like I go super nerd on them. Be like, this record, this did this for me. Yeah, John Oates is one of them. I didn't punish him though. I was just real excited in the crowd. Trophy Eyes, I definitely fucking punished really bad last year.
Yeah. Sorry
then,
to sidebar you,
but then again, but someone told me that one time, it's like, don't feel bad for that. They probably would rather have someone tell them what they're doing is awesome than nobody saying anything at all.
Yeah, I think so. I would imagine, right? Everybody loves their ego. That push, Hey man, I'd like you to tell them it sucks. But also they might be like, thanks. Thanks for the feedback. You never know. But yeah, that band's coming down. There's a lot of acoustics. And then of course my Newfound Glory tribute band will be playing. We just put this together for almost Warped Tour that we did a couple weeks ago. I think it's been now. And then I was like, hey, guys, somebody asked if we wanted to do it or like if we were going to do it. And I was like, you want to? And then here we are. We're going to play that again. Hopefully do some of that some more because that was a lot of fun.
Nice. I want to see it. I'm sucks. I missed it, but I would like to see that.
But Hunter playing drums for you guys, didn't you?
Yeah.
I know Hunter. Good guy.
Okay. Yeah. So Hunter played drums for us. He's now the drummer of the Cinema Story as well. Which go back and he was a long time ago. I was telling like, so he came over to my house, when we were trying out drummers, I guess, and I remember him playing and he played along with everything. And then after practice, he just, and Hunter, so you're gonna understand this, but he's like, "Well, guys, did it cut the mustard?" That's still one of my favorite things. Yeah, he played a show with us a couple months ago, probably. I don't know how long it's been now. At guitar, and then Brennan said he was leaving at this last show, and we were like, "Hey, just move over." So the Cinema Story is going to look new. Todd was playing bass. Todd Duckett, do you know him? I don't know.
Yes.
What schools you go to?
I went to AV.
I went to Bismarck, so we
knows him from the music scene at Barbarino's back in the day.
That makes sense. So yeah, people do. But he's gonna move from bass to guitar, and then Andrew's staying where he is, and then I'm gonna play bass and sing now. But that'll be a new look. It's been a while since I've had to do anything while singing. I'm gonna have to carry equipment. Not excited for that, but that's what that'll look like. But back to Notes for Hope. Sorry, I go in circles. But that'll be fun. Almost Warped Tour was a lot of fun. Yellow Card cover band. Say Anything cover band was like.
I'm gonna ask you about that. How'd that go? That would have been my other, besides you guys, my other highlight there.
So I was like, how are you gonna, it's Say Anything, which is so like
hard voice to imitate. Max Bemis.
Yeah. Did a solid job. Like they're in a band like a regular band too. I like Snaps.
Like Snap? Are they St. Louis band?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you heard of them?
I haven't heard of Snaps.
Okay.
So I believe, I don't know if it's announced or whatever, but I think we're gonna play a show with them in January at the Red Flag. But
the tribute show or the I Like Snaps?
The actual band.
Okay, cool.
So this will be Cinema Story. I think The Last Days is coming back.
I will have to be there. I will be there for sure.
Yeah, it'll be fun. So I think that's still in the works. I don't know. He didn't tell me not to say anything, so here we are.
Well, free little promo early in September.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
we'll share the flyers and everything like that.
Sweet.
Find
Yeah.
them on our Instagram.
But all the bands were so good, but I was just really just like extra blown away by that Say Anything cover band. And then, you get a chance to scream back at him like Every Man Has a Molly.
Song.
It's such a good one. So that was a whole day, a lot of fun. So on the other side too, obviously playing it was a lot of fun. And so really excited to play those songs, some of my favorites, and that'll be fun. Nuts for Hope.
Right up the road, right here, Park Hills Underground.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
down the
all
street.
day, you're gonna find something that you like. I think there's a pretty good assortment of bands, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun. And then obviously, the money that we raise it goes back into the organization, which helps us out tons. I mean, there's a while where I lost a lot of money personally on these shows, and through the just paying for everything we needed. I'd like to not do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's nice to come together and be able to do that to help us keep going. And
Good cause, of course. Absolutely.
yeah. And also, there's several people who work really hard, like obviously me and my wife and are the co-founders essentially, and we work really hard on it all year. Our friend Amber Dane is a huge part of this. She's the one that grabs all the donations and everything like that. So it also helps just that people care that we do it. I'll say it. That helps out a lot. Just the support, whether it's monetarily or just like, hey, thanks for doing it, or not even thanks. I don't even thanks, but like keep doing it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So so we'll appreciate that, and that's
November 21st, the Park Hills Underground. We'll share on our end. We'll share everything. Be there. I love going to I've seen you guys in the Stars Go Out, Ben Diesel, Justin, everybody. All these guys. So go to the Underground. It'll be a great time, great day. Support the band, support the cause.
Real quick, but you have a start time?
Yes,
or like admission?
I was getting ready to say that. About 1 o'clock. It's $10 to get in. That's that's for all day, and I know there's
deal.
more than there's more than 10 bands, so it's less than $1 a band. Think about that.
Bang for your buck for sure.
The best bang for your buck. Yeah, but yeah, all day. But yeah, and then I got my other project Down Swinging. We'll be playing in October 26th at the Underground with an Unfortunate Trend is coming back. They were a St. Louis band that played with a lot. Down Swinging did a tour with them. Very excited to have them come back. And I don't know why, but I'm forgetting. Oh, Alex Castle's coming in town again to play that acoustic, so that'll be fun. That's October 26th. I don't know if we don't have a flyer announced yet, but that's coming up.
We'll be there for that one. I will be there for that one.
I may be getting ahead of myself with that, but that's happening. And it'll be full band. It's been a while since we played full band. It's probably the tour, and that was 2018, that we played full band. And my wife didn't go, but she'll be on there because she sings with me as well. So that'll be a full thing. That'll be cool. And then be on the lookout for Pop Punk AF magazine. So it's what Justin and I started going into the podcast we were doing, and we kind of want to take that to the next level, and we'll be launching a full magazine. Like it's there, but we're gonna really go on out. You may remember like Ant magazine back in the day. Do you remember that one?
Yes.
Okay.
Fantastic.
So yeah, I found so many bands on that too, and it's kind of gonna be cool. We also, and I think I can go ahead and announce this, is we'll have in the near future there will be a compilation with a lot of different bands called Tribute to Pop Punk, and it'll be basically them, different bands covering pop punk songs.
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, there's some Newfound Glory people covered in there. It's not me. Cinema Store is actually doing the starting line. I'm doing a Saves Today cover for Down Swinging, and there's a lot. I wish I could remember them all, but there's a lot of cool ones that I'm really excited for. So that'll be launching in the near future. I don't think we have a date on it yet. I might be premature on that too, but I'm really excited about it. So I just want to say, I think it's super cool just getting all those bands to pay tribute to to everybody that we grew up listening to, influences. So yeah.
So awesome. Can't wait for that. Will there be a physical version of that?
I don't know. I think it's going to depend on interest, obviously, because it costs a bit. I love physical media, and I always want to print it. Even when when our band releases something, I was like, we gotta have CDs.
Oh yeah.
And I remember when we did our record deal with Les Clark, they were like, well, we put it digitally or whatever. And I was like, gotta have physicals. I was like, I don't care if we make any money off that. We just have to have it.
You can get CDs printed for like $1.20 or something like that.
I think that's what it kind of comes out to. Yeah, I think you have to get several of them. And I would love to. And you know what? If I'll make at least 2 sales, we'll be good, you know?
So whatever you do, I will, whatever you want, I will help that. We got to help out with that. Yeah, we can help. We would love to put out somehow, make it work, put out a physical product of it.
Yeah, we could probably work on a sort of partnership there, but yeah, I think so, and I think that would be super cool, and that's going to be like the first installment of different things too. That probably won't get super into that one, but there'll be more coming after that, which I'm super excited for too. I always love those bongos, things like that, and I just think it's not done anymore, and I think it's cool to do on an underground level,
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So that'll be something cool, and hopefully some articles coming, which I believe Jake's going to partner with us as well.
Yes.
So very excited for that, to hear his perspectives and different things like that. So
whatever you want me to write about, just tell me. Okay, I'll write about you.
Yeah. There you go.
I can write about you.
Just all good stuff, I just want like 10 articles by tomorrow. But shit like that. So it's gonna be cool.
Very excited, and looks like we have very busy here. You have a lot of great things coming up, and very excited. And I wanted to thank you for coming on to join us and show off some of your records and talk about what you got coming up. And whenever you want to come back again, just let us know.
For sure. I just ordered the starting lines, repressing Say It Like You Mean It. So, maybe next time I'll have that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever you want, brother. And
I'll be over here.
Be right here
in my basement, my dungeon.
Where can the people find you before we go, actually?
So, Facebook. I'm terrible at social media, so I'm there though.
Yes.
But yeah, you can find me there with all that stuff, and then obviously Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Deezer. I don't know.
Bandcamp too. Cinema Stories on Bandcamp too.
They are, yeah. We are. I don't even know what's up there anymore, but there might be old stuff that I don't even know, because I know we took down our first record, so you might be able to find that somewhere. Don't judge me from that one, but anyway, yeah, it's everywhere. Just look it up, and but Facebook is where I'm gonna do most of my updates.
Well, with that being said, thanks Keith Hafner of the Cinema Story, Down Swinging, and Pop Punk AF Magazine. Thanks for joining us, brother, and we'll be seeing you soon. Hello, this is Jake Jackson of Waxing On with R&J, and I just wanted to plug some recent shows that I attended, dating all the way back to the beginning of August, starting on August 8th. Barrett Lewis and I of the ATI podcast saw Jerome's Dream at the Sinkhole in St. Louis, Missouri. Following day, Blake Worley and I, frequent guests of the show, went to the Heavy Anchor in St. Louis to see Feeling This, a tribute to Blink-182. That was awesome. And then the following day, on the 10th, I was supposed to go see Blink-182 at the Enterprise Center, but they canceled. But I did get to go see, instead I got to go see The Stars Go Out from St. Louis and the Cinema Story, some awesome people at the Park Hills Underground, and that was a lot of fun. And then on August 30th, I got to go to the Sinkhole again with Barrett, my brother Ridge, Wyatt Seitz, Derek Hankins, and Blake Worley. It was a great time. We got to see Spaced from Buffalo, New York, one of my favorite current hardcore bands. Piasa from Illinois, they rocked. St. Louis's very own Direct Measure, they always put on a great show. And last but not least, Full Stride from Bloomington, Indiana. They were awesome as well. and those were some recent shows that I attended.
Hey there, this is Barrett from the ATI Podcast here to talk about what we have going on the ATI Podcast Network. First, we'll start with Waxing On with R&J. The format of Waxing On with R&J is audible selections made exclusively by our hosts and brothers, Ridge Jackson and Jake Jackson. Waxing On with R&J is sure to tickle your inner eardrums with some of the most vile tones you've ever encountered, and conversely, ear candy with pop melodies, focusing on spotlighting underground and rising artists. Waxing On with R&J is another outlet of the ATI Podcast community to bring awareness to many musicians' craft. Also found on the ATI Podcast Network, Nod Nard's Closet, hosted by Brandon Stewart of Edos Inn. Nod Nard's Closet is a wing of the ATI Podcast programming that delves into the world of roleplay games, miniature painting, diorama making, occasional pro wrestling match watch-alongs, providing commentary with a dash of jocularity and satire, and much, much more. Of course, leading the pack is the ATI Podcast. On the ATI Podcast, we episodically invite guests onto our show to spotlight their talents, whether that's musicians, filmmakers, artists, actors, businesses, even athletes. Nothing is off the table. The focus of the ATI Podcast and its collective creative arms, whether that's Waxing On with R&J or Nod Nard's Closet, is to bring awareness and focus to people's talents. Be sure to follow us across all traditional podcasting platforms, and for the full experience, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search the ATI Podcast. Stay safe out there.